I like the Johnny Quest theme because of the jungle and all that, because Miss Peaches and I were just talking. You made a brilliant point. And we've all sort of said it before in the past, in passing, but she brings it up again on a day like this. How do people in old New Orleans live without air conditioning? That Carrier guy, we should have like a statue for him somewhere. Seriously. I'm not joking. We should have like Carrier Street, a Carrier statue, air conditioning. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Carrier, for air conditioning our air. How did people live in New Orleans without air conditioning? Miss Peaches, that could be an entire program right there. I really don't know. I mean, I guess just literally moved around slower. And I'm assuming like right around this time of the day, hey, we're winding down the hibernation period where you're like stuck inside. You're not really doing a lot outside, or if you are, you're in the shade, I'm guessing. But I would think like from 10 to like 5, you don't do a lot of outdoor stuff. 1895 or whatever, New Orleans. And I guess the fan was the greatest thing in the world, a big twirling fan. I don't know how people lived back then.
Before electricity.
No. Well, that's why a lot of the houses are designed like they are, with high ceilings and, pitched roofs and elevated off the ground and all kind of different stuff like that. But that's great. You're maximizing living in the oven, but you're still in the oven. It's just like, wow, it's just brutal. No, I have no idea, Miss Peaches, because we both came in, we were like, it's hot and you better have a lot of water. And then we're talking about, if you're, someone who's like, I don't know, gets migraine headaches all the time, and double up. Stay hydrated. There's nothing worse than that feeling, that nauseated, lightheaded, just out of sorts in a major way, like it's not fixable anytime soon. A lot of the time, the old H2O, the old agua will solve that problem. It is a Thursday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Speaking of air conditioning, every day we broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto Total Maintenance Studios. Yeah, they dropped the River City part. It's just total maintenance, made it easier. Every day we do broadcast live from the Buddy Diliberto Total Maintenance Studios. The 4 o'clock hour brought to you by Total Maintenance. It's August 1. Miss Peaches just exhaled. She's right. It's like, what? Like 9 more weeks, 10 more weeks, Miss Peaches, like maybe, 10, 12 weeks. It's not 2 months and we're out. It's all of August. It's all of September. You might have September 20th, some cool front rolls in and we got down to 75, like something like that. But it's really like, I hate to say it, like October 10th, October 15th, where I don't care about the solstice. That's when summer ends in New Orleans. We got basically 2 seasons. Summer around May 1st through October 15th, and then the non-summer season, October 16th to about April 30th. And that's about it. So no, we've got all of August, all of September, and a few weeks of October. Thanks for the bad news, Corey. Have a great day, everyone. Total Maintenance is there for you over the next 6, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, year round. Heating in winter, air conditioning right now. If your AC is not working right, it's not cool in the house, doesn't seem to be operating like it did last summer or last week, making a funny noise, worse, not working at all. Total Maintenance is there. These are the pros in South Louisiana for 40 years with a sterling reputation. In New Orleans, easy to find Total Maintenance, NOLAAC.com. That's all you need to know. East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, NOLAAC.com. In Baton Rouge, it's TM, like total maintenance, tm-ac.com, tm-ac.com in the capital city. Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately. The 4 o'clock hour brought to you by Total Maintenance, NOLAAC.com in New Orleans, tm-ac.com, tm-ac.com in the capital city, Baton Rouge. Today, the city of New Orleans' controversial red light or traffic cameras were supposed to come back online, get reactivated today. New state law is slowing down that process. We're celebrating. We're having a party for the rest of the program because of that. Remember LaToya, the Destroyer Cantrell? Hey, y'all, I'm running for mayor, and I'm going to get those darn traffic cameras shut down. That's one of my, key running points. I will turn off the traffic cameras. It's a scam. Y'all, now that I'm elected mayor, well, by golly, we need that 20 million because we have $1 billion budget, and we really need that 20 mil. The money that we steal from law-abiding, tax-paying citizens, essentially. Look, I'm a guy, whatever, kind of aggressive like guys are, insecure, drive a little fast, whatever. I know what I'm doing. But like mom in the minivan, dad in the SUV working, doing 42 and a 35 unconsciously and gets popped. I don't know. I think that's morally and ethically wrong. A real life officer would not pull that person over. A real life officer with the camera or in the car would go, it's mom in the minivan, got 4 kids in the back seat. She's doing 43 and a 35. Do I really care? Is it dangerous? Is it a law that I really need to go enforce? Could her speedometer be off a few? She thinks she's doing 39 or something. That's where the traffic cameras are a joke. A buddy of mine zipping his kid to the emergency room at Children's Hospital. LCMC right there at Chapatoulas and Henry Clay. There's a traffic camera on Henry Clay. It's a 25. He's blowing through there like at 40. He's more concerned about an oil pan getting ripped off the bottom of his car before he gets his kid to the hospital emergency room. Because Henry Clay's such a crappy street, except for that smooth paved part, you guessed it, by the traffic camera. It asks you to speed up by the traffic camera. No, I was never a believer in those. I think they're kind of unconstitutional. At the very least, it's just sort of the city prostituting themselves out. It's not pro-business. It's anti-business. It doesn't make folks in Jefferson, St. Bernard, the North Shore want to come into Orleans Parish as much. Oh, we got to go deliver to New Orleans. Watch the traffic camera. Watch the booting. The fact that New Orleans is so hyper efficient at traffic cameras, booting, parking tickets, it just yells that it's a scam, that it's a money grab. I mean, New Orleans acts like it's some country town on the state highway where the speed limit goes from 55 to 35 and the cops radar, and that's how they pay the budget for the city. That's how New Orleans acts. You don't want to be bunky when it comes to that. I mean, better slow down at Bunky. And I apologize if Bunky doesn't have that anymore. But that used to be their rep 20, 30 years ago. They probably don't have that anymore. But there are definitely places that do that. Dramatic speed limit reductions. The signs are there. Sometimes 2 signs, but you're on a long trip. You may not be fully engaged in paying 110%, attention. Then boom, you're getting clocked. It's cheesy. It's lame. It makes you not want to stop and get lunch at that little small town. And it makes you want to avoid the big town like New Orleans that does that stuff. So anyway, today, the city of New Orleans controversial red light or traffic cameras were supposed to be reactivated, and they may soon be reactivated, but a state law right now slowing that down. I'll explain all that. Yeah, how did folks in New Orleans live without air conditioning? It's mind-blowing. I know fans that took the hot air up to the ceiling. It's still, 90. And boy, the mosquito netting around the bed. I get that. But boy, you're in that little mosquito netting thing and sweating through the mattress. I mean, how often did folks in New Orleans back then just wake up sweating through their clothes? It's hot outside, Crescent City. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday. Yeah, you right. Boy, a good time to be at Katie's in Mid-City. Why don't you go check out Katie's, as New Orleans as it gets, the quintessential New Orleans neighborhood restaurant, seafood, po' boys, great New Orleans old school specialties. Katie's in Mid-City. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
One of the reasons I got out of sports talk, Miss Peaches, Invest 97. I got to figure out the name of the storm if it becomes a storm so I can report it properly. What is it supposed to be named? Oh, boy. I think it's like Betty or something. Debbie? Maybe it's Debbie. It's Debbie? Yeah. It's got to be early in the alphabet, right? Yeah. Oh, anyway, I thought it's Debbie. If it's named, yeah. If it's named. No, it's not. It's not. Debbie. All right. Corey Johnson with you on a Thursday afternoon. Yeah, you right. Thanks so much for joining us. Yeah, thank goodness. Red light cameras were supposed to be reactivated today. Now they're not because of new state laws. There's a few state laws going into effect today, August 1st. There's a state law. They're trying to figure out what certain situations are, prohibiting, I guess, an automated system, a non-person from giving you a traffic violation. I can promise you this. If you think of all the problems that New Orleans has, like if you were to write a fair, objective list, hell, we essentially did. I say I'm part of this Super Bowl host committee thing, or this, I should say host committee, the Super Bowl preparation committee. Michael Heck's the chairman. Jeff Landry, the governor, appointed him. Michael asked me to join it. We got about 550. That entity has about 550 things in New Orleans that need to be fixed, repaired, cleaned up. 550. That's the list right now. By the Super Bowl, the city of New Orleans will have knocked out hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those. There's not one of them that is about change the speed limit on that street. People are getting killed. You really need to change this because of that. None of that. None of that. Do people U-turn on Vets? That's not even Orleans Parish. Instead of going like a block farther down and then make everybody wait because they're cutting 3 lanes over. Yeah, that happens all the time. That's sort of aggravating. Do people come out of Holly Grove on Carrollton when there's already a car in the median and block not only the left lane of traffic, but the middle lane as well, and just do not care? Sure. I mean, we could get nitpicky about traffic things that are a problem in New Orleans, but no one anywhere is saying, man, I almost got run over. It's dangerous. New Orleans is a crazy traffic town. Stay away from there. I'm not saying people are saying New Orleans drivers are great. I mean, if you really want to scrutinize that topic, I think New Orleans and Louisiana drivers aren't so good. I think we should eliminate about 10% of the drivers on the road, to be honest with you. Just do that by making getting a driver's license just so slightly more difficult. Like the blinker, if you want to turn left, do you push it down or up? You know, things like that. Anyway, I digress. Miss Peaches. Corey Johnson with you. No, we could come up with so many bad things or so many things that aren't bad but just need to be fixed or improved. Hundreds and hundreds of them, and driving isn't one of them. So the traffic camera thing is a 110% scam. It's a cheap, sleazy money grab by the city. They did it in Jefferson Parish, and it was a cheap, sleazy money grab, and they got rid of it. They eliminated it. It's gone. There are no traffic cameras in Jefferson Parish. And there shouldn't be any in New Orleans. New Orleans has enough problems. New Orleans needs to be a welcoming city. I mean, I'm running for mayor. I'm going to ask Oliver Thomas this the next time I talk to him. And about his plan as well. I think Oliver, I tweeted today, he's got the cart in front of the horse. Hey, it's a plan to raise Black New Orleans up and we'll raise all of New Orleans. No, raise all of New Orleans and Black New Orleans is raised up. You've got it backwards. No, but I'll talk to Oliver the next time about that, and I'll talk to him about eliminating the traffic cameras because it's not a welcoming thing, and New Orleans isn't a welcoming city. It isn't easy to open a business here. It isn't easy to keep a business open here. It's not permit friendly. It's not easy to operate. It's difficult. And then you throw in messed up infrastructure, hard to get around. Violent crime is on a huge decline. It's fantastic, but it still exists. You throw in stuff like that, just the general dysfunction of the city, it makes it a hard place to operate. Having traffic cameras all over the city just exacerbates the problem. And I would say, it's just a total guesstimation. What do you think like legitimate problem drivers are that are getting some idiot, doing 55 in a 35 or something? I mean, I think it's like 1 out of 50. Most of the camera tickets, I guarantee, or whatever the bottom threshold is in a 35, let's say it's 41. It's a lot of 41s, 42s, and 43s. I bet you that's the bulk of it. And then, there's some idiot doing 58. I'm not saying there's some idiot doing 70 in the 35, I'm sure. I'm sure you could go to traffic camera and say, what's the most obnoxious thing? You won't believe it, but on so-and-so street, you can be like, that street, that's a 25, someone was doing 90? I'm sure there's some crazy crap they've seen. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. Keep the traffic cameras on. Monitor traffic. Get license plates. Pop litterers at intersections with the red light cameras. Folks stop and drop their litter at the intersection. Pop them. That's somebody you go after. Boy, is that obnoxious in New Orleans. Every day almost. I mean, at least once a week for sure. I just see some total idiot. Selfish, a clown, a joker, jackass. I don't see how people get so self-absorbed or so oblivious to their own actions, how they get into a bad habit. It just becomes, set in stone and they just live that way. People that roll down their window, in nice cars, all different kind of people. The demographic doesn't matter. It's crappy cars too, but it's nice vehicles also. Mercedes and brand new Honda Accord or Camry, or people taking on a serious, note and all of that. Their car's clean. It's nice. They roll down the window. They just throw trash out the window. Fast food line, trash, throwing it out in the parking lot of the fast food place. I'd say people are animals, but I don't want to insult Tolly, my dog, who's a beautiful animal. It's sinful behavior. It's beyond like immature and selfish. It's mind blowing to me when I see people litter. I see people doing it, walking, they do it, throwing it out of their vehicle. I don't want trash either. I get it. I don't want it either, but it goes on the floor of my car till I get somewhere to where I can pick it up off the floor of my car and bring it to this thing called a trash can. A trash can. No, it's just selfish, pathetic behavior. We're about to clean up the city, New Orleans, you, me, everybody, for Super Bowl 59 in less than 200 days. How do we keep it clean? How do we make sure we don't revert back to how it is today? You got to change the mindset. The majority of these jokers that litter, it's habit, it's sad, it's pathetic. I'm not trying to cut them any slack. And then the environment around them's dirty. I'm sure like Disney World, they don't litter. Or some other city when they're on vacation, they don't litter. Maybe they do. Maybe they're just that not human-like, that clueless. Maybe they do it at Disneyland and they do it elsewhere and just embarrass themselves there as well. No, it's 2024. I'm not about to have a shout out with some person on the street about, hey, joker, you just threw down your wrapper, or go pick up their stuff and say, you dropped this, something like that. But they'll shoot you, people today, they're crazy. I don't get into road rage, flipping off someone driving or any of that. But litter is just really obnoxious. I don't know how we keep it clean. No, the red light or traffic cameras, not a good thing. The city of New Orleans, the reactivation of the cameras starting today, not happening because of a new state law. And the city, so pathetic, their release on it is like, be careful in the school zones. Like they're literally using the school zones and children. Like it's really weak. You got to see this. I mean, it's just like a political maneuver. You've got to see this clearly, right? They're acting like we've had problems in the past with school zones and people running over children and people doing 90 and a 20. You want to know the problem with the school zone? People doing like 12 and 15 because there's a traffic camera. Like literally like under 20 miles an hour. Do 20 in the school zone. 20 is slow enough. Man, you go slower, you could save a child's life. No. 20 slow enough. I guess you could do 1 mile an hour and you could save a child's life compared to 5 miles an hour, maybe. Anyway. Hey, Lebanon's Cafe is so good. I like Lebanon's Cafe. I'm pretty confident you're going to like Lebanon's Cafe. What's not to like? It's authentic. It's fresh. It's big portions. It's priced right. Pretty convenient, I think. They're at Carrollton at Jeanette by the Streetcar Barn. That's near Mid-City, Uptown. It's in the Carrollton section of Uptown, the Riverbend, which means you folks in Old Jefferson, Old Metairie, Jefferson, however long it takes you to get to River Road and Causeway, you're about 4 minutes from Lebanon's Cafe from there. So just add 4 minutes from there. Right down River Road, across Oak, across the train tracks into the parish or New Orleans. Left on Carrollton, right down the street on the left. So good. Lebanon's
Ladies and
Cafe.
gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the Streetcar Barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right, Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us. So many ways to check out the program. Somebody asked me today, I was just like, CoreyTalks.com. And then, that can be confusing with the spelling. But thank goodness you can put COREY Talks or COREY Johnson.com, and it'll all go to Corey, KAARE, CoreyTalks.com. You can listen live there, live streaming, all that. Tells you where we are on the radio, 93.9 FM. Oh, so fine, 93.9, 107.9 FM, New Orleans own 107.9 FM. A few AM stations. We're on TV statewide, Cox Channel 4 all over the state, Spectrum, Charter Channel 333 all over the state. And please subscribe to our fledgling YouTube channel. I'm trying to get better at social media. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Click to subscribe. It don't cost nothing. It is a wide open Wednesday. It is a Thursday afternoon heading towards the weekend. Hot summertime weather. Hey, we're shifting gears. How do you get the Pillsbury Doughboy off the sofa and in shape? I know a lot of you want to know. Bradley Schneller of Stacked Coaching joins us on the program. Bradley, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. I just realized that you have more ways to listen to your show than posts on Instagram.
That's probably accurate. I know. Instagram, I need to do a better job with. Facebook, I'm terrible, Bradley. I need to be slapped into shape on that kind of stuff. Hey, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, you go to the gym more on a weekly basis than you post on social media. So we're just got to get headed in that direction.
No, you're right. Bradley is the owner-operator of Stacked Coaching. You may know this facility if you drive down River Road. You know where the River Shack is. It's up about a block towards Elmwood, Harahan from there. River Road at Arnold. You'll see the sign right out front, and you'll see a bunch of folks getting, tortured in there. I call it the torture chamber, but I'm joking. It is actually it's a love-hate relationship, Bradley. I'm in love with it 23 hours and 45 minutes a day, but there's a good 10 or 15 minutes I'm ready to, pass out.
I hear that, brother. I hear that.
Yep. Hey, it's check it out. What's the website, by the way, Bradley? And what's let's do this first instead of jamming in it at the end, and we'll do that at the end as well. But what's a website, maybe social media place where if somebody has like a fitness question, nutrition question for you, something like that, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, man, it's www.stackedcoaching.com. That's STACKED coaching.com. And our Instagram's the same, @StackedCoaching, and you can just shoot me a DM there. I'm pretty responsive with the social media, so you can get all your questions in. And look, I love talking health and nutrition, so I'm happy to answer any questions there. I do it on Twitter as well. I'll constantly reach out to people and ask them why they're doing certain things and give them a little advice.
Hey, what is Stacked coaching, and what's the stacked part?
Yeah, we are a fitness and nutrition coaching program, and our foundation is based in habits, daily habits. And what we try to do is improve those daily habits. And as you get better at them, as you win each habit, we stack them on top of each other. So long story short, habit stacking.
And it seems like you're also stacking exercises and workouts and on top of each other, on top of each other, on top of each other.
We do fit a lot into our program. It is a progressive overload program, which means we're either increasing our volume or increasing our weight each week in our strength-based programming.
How did you get into this? Man.
Well, look, I was overweight from probably 12 until 28. And when I mean overweight, I was pretty overweight. I wouldn't say I was morbidly obese, but I was the kid for a decade and a half that was afraid to take his shirt off at the pool. Absolutely did not want to. It hurt my confidence. It hurt the way I acted around other people. My self-esteem was shot. And it was just something that was always bothering me. And, I went to the gym at the LSU Rec Center. I tried to work out in my summers in high school. I ran half marathons. I did everything I could from a fitness perspective with the knowledge that I had, and none of it worked. I tried diet after diet after diet, and it did not work until I found the proper protocol for nutrition and fitness for me. And it does happen to work for a lot of people. It's a science-based program. But, that finally changed my life, and I wanted to change that for everyone else.
Now, it's kind of funny. When I went into your facility, there's a picture of you from when you used to work out at a, quote, gym. And I guess you did that for years. And I look at that photo, I'm like, I'd like to be that dude. That guy looks pretty damn good. If I could just be him, I'd be real happy. And then there's the photo of you after stacked. And you go from a guy who was pretty fit, looked like he went to the gym. He wasn't some guy that would be scared to take his shirt off at the pool. And you went to some dude who's just ripped. What's the difference between what you were doing at the regular gym? I mean, where you look pretty good. I mean, I don't think anyone was complaining, but apparently you didn't think it was enough. And then when you see the results after stacked, you're like, wow, there's a major difference.
Yeah, so it's interesting you say that. So actually, that picture that you saw, I had already owned a gym for about 5 years in that picture.
Wow.
So I was actually bigger before that. But in that picture, I was doing CrossFit. I owned a CrossFit gym at the time. Since, my program has changed a lot. But the biggest difference between those pictures that you saw was nutrition. 100% nutrition. And what I try to tell people all the time is that nutrition is for weight loss and fitness is for wellness. You absolutely cannot outwork your diet. And the reason why is because the more you work out, the hungrier you're going to get. And at some point, there's going to be a backslide and point of diminishing returns.
Brad, I meant this as a general interview, not this personal attack on me. What the hell's going on?
Well, I know you work out for your cookies, but let's be honest, you've changed a lot since you started. You're drinking protein drinks now, you're watching your calories, and you've lost 15 pounds.
Yep. No, you're right. I watch it all, but the way you talk about it, I'm like, boy, I got a lot farther to go. I mean, it's funny. There's stuff that you just automatically avoid now because you're like that. Why do I want to eat that? That's just going to wreck tomorrow or wreck what I've been doing. And then, I still get tempted to eat stuff. I don't know if I'm on the nutrition path in the proper way.
Well, and let's probably get into what we're going to talk about a little bit, and especially over time. But, you've heard the phrase life is a series of choices, right?
Yep.
And we got to suffer the consequences on all of those. But, when we're talking about getting people from the couch, Pillsbury Doughboy, to working out and fit, it's really zooming out and noticing that what you're trying to do is change your lifestyle. That's what you want to try to do. We're working out not for tomorrow, not for the week after, but to try to change your life, what's left of it. And when you can take that macro view of that timeline, then you can say there's all these little instances in between now and then that matter, but not necessarily matter in the grand scheme. But when you start to put them together, they can make a difference negatively or positively. So we have to make that choice at the birthday party, at the happy hour. Like, how'd the rest of my week look? How did my day look? How'd the last month look? You know, is this the choice I want to make now?
Now, here's a beautiful part about it, folks that might be listening going, boy, that's a lot to chew. It's a lot to take on. For me, Brad, it just sort of happened naturally. I was the Pillsbury Doughboy. I wanted to get off the sofa. I was like, you know, let me go there. And I'll tell the story another time when you join me about how I got involved, because it's funny with the tweeting and Mardi Gras and all that. But all the other stuff sort of lined up. Like, I'm going there, and I want, I first started 3 days a week. I'm like, that's not enough. I upped it to 4. That's not enough. I went to 5. And then all of a sudden you're starting to focus on diet and stuff. I think it organically happened a little bit for me, where I think a lot of folks hear what you just said and they're like, oh my God, I got to watch diet. I got to work out I got it. It's like, calm down. It's all going to just happen.
I love how you put that, because if I was telling someone who is just doing nothing, right? Like, you're doing nothing, you want to start, you don't know how to start, okay? The first thing I would do is identify, what is your goal? What are you hoping to accomplish, okay? And then the next thing would be, what is the first step I can take towards that? It might be just scheduling out a walk 3 days a week, then scheduling a walk 5 days a week. Now, instead of walking for an hour, I'm going to walk for 2 hours. And then you move on from there to, you know what? I'm going to join a gym. I'm going to follow this program. I'm going to do that 3 times. And you just move it up, and you increase the difficulty level over time after you've conquered each step. So think of it really as baby steps. One step in front of the other, and just move week to week to week as you get better and you conquer each step.
Hey, Brad, till we do this again, how can folks get in touch with you via social media or email if they have a question about fitness, nutrition, the gym? What's the gym website, all that?
Yeah, at Stacked Coaching, www.stackcoaching.com, and you can email me, Bradley, at stackedcoaching.com.
Brad, I got to change it. Bradley, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you joining us.
Man. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. That's Bradley Schneller from Stacked Coaching. Actually, I'm Monday through Thursday, and I'll go on Saturday, tomorrow, an off day. Coming back.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center. It's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof. Now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right. The conversation Miss Peaches and I were just having is not available on the radio. It was during the commercial break exclusively. Miss Peaches, I think we need to call old Jeff Dorson up. No, I should have told you, but instead we're talking about insanity. Crazy stuff. Oh. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's a funny story. I'll tell it when Bradley Schneller joins me again from Stacked Coaching, how I got to the gym. It's the craziest way. But what's funny is the Pillsbury Doughboy, that's me. If you poked me a few months ago in the ribs, I giggled, and you couldn't feel my ribs. No, I don't want to talk about it, honestly, like in about me, because I don't like talking about me like that. Whatever that, I'm not a big, if you look on my social media posts, I'm not like, look at me on the beach in Spain, or this is where I'm eating dinner and you're not. The next day I might post something saying the steaks at so-and-so are great, or look at this pasta dish. But I don't know, but just for folks that are out there that want to get in shape, I recommend this place. It is addictive. The staff like Bradley and the people that work with him are like top notch. I'm not just saying that. It is a special place, and I mean that. There's the people that work out at the gym are special people. Everybody's focused on the same thing, the same goals. It's like a team kind of thing, and it's the momentum is incredible. It is a positive force, a positive vibe. And look, y'all know me from radio and television. I'm an opinion guy. I'm going to get cynical and jaded on stuff. This place is a positive force. There's nothing negative, cynical, or jaded about it. It is just you will like it. If that's what you're upset that you're not in shape or not healthy or not eating right, you want to get off the sofa. This is the place. Plus, it's sustainable. Like, you can do this for the rest of your life. It's sustainable. Anyway, Bradley's going to join us every Thursday for a few minutes. Jeff Dorson joins us every Thursday for a few minutes, tossing a bone to this guy, a world champion. He heads up the Humane Society of Louisiana, came down here from Indiana about 35 years ago, figured he'd be down here 2 or 3 weeks. Louisiana's messed up. I'm going to go down there and help him out with this animal problem they've got. 35 years later, he's still grinding, trying to help Louisiana out with this animal problem we've got. How you doing, Jeff?
Corey, always a fun introduction. Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
I thought I'd wrap it up in a few weeks. Nothing's been wrapped up down here. It's just, it's a real challenge, as well you know.
No, it just continues and continues and continues. The last few weeks, some of these animal cruelty cases are sickening.
It's very true.
These kids abusing the dog. I'm glad they got arrested. The other idiot that had all the animals in the house and was abusing them. What worries me, though, Jeff, they're arrested. Great. Are they going to jail, or is it just a slap on the wrist? That's what I'm concerned with.
Well, all of it takes a lot of energy. We have to have volunteers track the cases through the court system, talk to the DA, make sure the witnesses are still on board, make sure nobody loses all the documents, the vet reports, the pictures. And then we finally get to the judge. But sometimes the DA, will make a plea deal. That happens a lot that we're not happy with. They won't confer with us. And all of a sudden this guy walks with 2 years probation and a small fine. So it's all challenging. It all takes time and energy. So join us is all I can say. We have a courtroom monitoring team. We have a cruelty investigation team. And, of course, we have people rescuing animals every day.
Jeff, what's the best way for folks to get in touch with you if they have, they see a cruelty case or animal that's, chained up, or an animal in the backyard all day with no water or shade, or anything that's abusive with animals? The 888-6 Humane number?
That works, or file a complaint. It's much better to read a report than to take down all the information. So take your time, file the report, hit send. It's on our website, humanela.org.
Oh, nice.
And there's a submission form for cruelty investigations. I have a real quick, small success story if we have time.
Most definitely, but real quick. So the website is the best way to report some cruelty case.
It is. That way you can read it and submit pictures. So, yes, that's a much better way than over the phone. It just takes too long, and we may make a mistake.
That's brilliant. Address, pictures, photos, video, humanela.org. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, success in the middle of all this pet overpopulation. Bienville Sheriff's Office make an arrest 2.5 weeks ago. They seized 30 dogs, 20 some adults, 10 some puppies from 2 losers. They're still doing jail. They haven't bonded out.
Good.
30 counts of cruelty. They're stuck at a vet's office. Bienville doesn't have a public shelter. They have to impose upon the local vet to board their animals. The vet's not happy because they're losing client space. They can't take in anything else. It's a big bill for 30 dogs a night. You can imagine the cost of that. So they don't know what to do. The parish is running out of money for this particular case. They call me and say, can you move them within 24 hours? Otherwise we have to euthanize all 30.
Wow.
Imagine that phone call.
Unbelievable. Let's not put undue pressure on. What's that?
So, and there's hardly any adoptions or transports. So I'm panicking. I text my friend Kathy Bissell. She's an amazing woman. She operates a Bissell Foundation. They get their money from the Bissell vacuum cleaners.
Wow.
Are you familiar?
Of course.
Okay, so I text her. She doesn't really know me too well, but I explain the situation, send her some pictures, and she says, I'm going to stop everything. Now, how many people say that? So
she's going to stop what?
30. She moved them all out.
Wow. She moved them all out. Unbelievable. How can folks help and donate? humanela.org?
That's the place. We're on Facebook. Hit the send button. Send us a little bit of money to keep going.
Jeff, always a pleasure, brother. Keep it up.
Thank you.
humanela.org.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. Then we'll save your color so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see. What about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread. The Jetsons. A fabulous cartoon. Google Jetsons.
Meet George Jetson.
I guess, how would you put it? Technology from Jetsons we use today. Lots of stuff.
Daughter Judy.
Let's see, Miss Peaches.
Jane, his wife.
Let's check that out real quick. Mr. Drew Brees. Technology we use today from the Jetsons cartoon. 1962, Hanna-Barbera animated cartoon. The Jetsons accurately predicted many technologies that have become part of everyday life, including video calls, 3D printed food, holograms, robotics, flying cars, moving sidewalks, chatbots, smartwatches, self-driving cars, personal computers, tablets, electric toothbrushes, drones. It's pretty funny. However, there were some technologies that didn't exist prior to 1962. Oh, they're just saying the same thing. Anyway. Pretty funny, pretty interesting. No, it's amazing. The treadmill, all kind of stuff. What's that, Miss Peaches?
They were ahead of their time. I mean,
They were ahead of their time.
flat screens, video.
Wrong mic button.
There we go. Let's try that. They were ahead of their time because they even had like the video calls, the smartwatch, doggy treadmills. What else? Well, talking alarm clocks. Like they're getting a little picky here, but like little things, that we have that now.
Yeah, well, come on. I don't think that's even picky.
Roombas. Remember the
Vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, but she was the maid.
Yeah, what was her name?
Oh
boy.
goodness.
The robot.
Miss something.
Well, don't tell me, Miss Peaches. I've got to figure that one out on my own. What was the robot's name on the Jetsons?
Oh, I know it.
Yeah, you did. You just looked it up.
Yes, I did.
Rosie.
That's it.
Rosie the robot. I'm done for the day. That used all brain power.
You got it, though.
I have no more brain power though. That's it. It drained the batteries.
I could picture the robot, but I couldn't think of the name.
Look, Miss Peaches. Yep, old Rosie. I know. I was picturing too, the little kind of weird head and the little light bulb dot nose and all that. All right, it's Jetsons talk. We're talking cartoons. Wow. Hey, Miss Peaches, fielding your phone calls, by the way. 766-9480. 766-9480. I mentioned earlier, Jeff Landry appointed Michael Heck from Greater New Orleans Inc. He'll join us tomorrow on the program like he does every Friday. He appointed him to be the Super Bowl point man, to get a list together, priorities, get New Orleans ready to host the Super Bowl now in less than 200 days. Michael Hecht appointed a committee, I don't know, maybe 30 to 50 members. I'm one of the people he asked to do it. I said, I'd gladly love to do something civic-minded that I honestly think I can contribute to. Kind of what I do every day, looking at the pros and cons, the good, the bad, and the ugly of New Orleans. One of the things that I've been pushing, and it appears to be gaining traction, the
billionaires, like billionaires with a B, the wealthy, the Fortune 500 CEOs, the movers and shakers, not only in the United States of America, but some internationally, all coming to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. And they all come, 90% of them, 95+% of them arrive at Lakefront Airport in their G5 jet or bigger. I think the number of jets expected in New Orleans for the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Peaches, I think it's 500. 500 jets will be parked at Lakefront Airport. That is going to be one hell of a drone video that 468 or Channel 26 is going to get. Like, Google Augusta, the jets at Augusta Airport, Miss Peaches, if you're interested in seeing like crazy that you, what? This is Augusta, Georgia's little municipal airport, and that's how many jets? Jets during Augusta, during Masters at Augusta Airport. It's insane. It's mind-blowing. You're like, is this some aircraft manufacturing facility? Is this where aircraft get repaired? So there's going to be 500 plus G5, or bigger jets landing at the Lakefront Airport for the Super Bowl from like that Wednesday through like Monday. These are, like I said, they're not rich people. They're wealthy people. They're not millionaires. They're billionaires in some cases. And the ones that aren't billionaires, they're worth not tens of millions of dollars. They're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. They're movers and shakers. They're decision makers. They can change the whole. If New Orleans does this right, and the right people like Michael Hecht and Doug Thornton and Jay Cicero, and people that Bill Hines get in front of the right people, it could be a game changer for New Orleans' economy, like long term. We could maybe land a Fortune 500 company or two to bring in 100 white-collar jobs into the CBD. Something like that. Some manufacturing facility in the east or on I-12 on the North Shore. Things like that. This is a great opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's different because it's later. It's bigger than last year's Super Bowl, bigger than the one before. It's 2025. This is just unbelievable opportunity to mingle, to pitch ideas and proposals to decision makers, wealthy billionaires, CEOs, Fortune 500 types. They're going to be landing at Lakefront Airport. What I have pushed from day one is that these vehicles, these limousines, these cars that the folks are taking from Lakefront Airport to downtown, they do not go down Dowman Road to Chef Highway and get on the I-10 right there by Banner Chevrolet up onto the high rise and come in that way. They do not go that way. They go over the Seabrook Bridge, and before they get to the base of the Seabrook Bridge, where they'd be getting on Leon C. Simon proper, they exit onto Lakeshore Drive. And they take Lakeshore Drive, not to Franklin, not to Elysian Fields, not Paris Avenue, not Marconi, all the way to Canal Boulevard. And they take Canal Boulevard from the lake to I-610. Beautiful oak tree lined, nice houses, nice street, nice neighborhood, great look for New Orleans. The lakefront to Canal Boulevard, then to the interstate downtown. That is huge. That is of vital importance. You don't take Press Drive through Southern's campus by Bartholomew Golf Course because you end up that's fine, but then you end up at Chef Highway. Can't have those folks on Chef Highway. And Elysian Fields is too crusty and beat up. Can't do that. So this is huge. Top. Yep. No, it's huge. It's giganticus. Because, right, Miss Peaches? I'm sending you in the right direction, right? Yeah, you're fine. Relax. Anyway, no, you can't have rich millionaires, decision makers going into the city on Dowman Road or Elysian Fields or Paris Avenue or any. I know these streets. I drive down them all the time. They're just sort of outside the bubble, fair and objective. They're a little crusty. They're a little rough. Franklin or Elysian Fields, just not compared to Canal Boulevard. I mean, Canal Boulevard's as nice as it gets. Canal Boulevard's any nice city anywhere in the country. Canal Boulevard looks really, really nice. Oak tree lined and nice neighborhoods. And it's just going to be that's the route that I've been pushing. And that appears to be the route that the Super Bowl folks preparing this are going to pounce on. And that's a good thing because this is important. We got to put our best foot forward. And the folks that we need, we got to, show them the best side of the city. Corey Johnson with you. All the way till 6 p.m. Yeah, you right. Thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday afternoon. Yeah, a lot going on. Today, the city of New Orleans' controversial red light or traffic cameras, they were supposed to be reactivated today. But a new state law is slowing down the process, and that's tremendous. That's huge. We need that. First off, the former mayor, LaToya, former mayor. I'm jumping ahead of myself, Miss Peaches. An indictment is inevitable. Mayor LaToya Cantrell, when running for mayor, former candidate running for mayor LaToya Cantrell, promised to turn off the traffic cameras. That was one of her campaign things. Gets in office and immediately reneges on that, says, I'm not doing it. We need the tax money. And that's a little aggravating. So I think if they're unconstitutional, I think they run people away from the city. We're not a welcoming city to begin with. I think this adds to that non-welcoming kind of thing. So they should be deactivated. Jefferson Parish had them. They got rid of them. Political corruption, nonsense, gimmicks going on. Jefferson dumped it quickly. New Orleans is embracing it. I'm sure there are people making money on the side. But it's sinful. You're pulling tens of millions of dollars from basically 90+% of the time, it's just law-abiding citizens, a mom in the minivan, dad in the minivan, whatever, carload of kids, a single person. Sorry, J.D. Vance, cat women going 41 or 42 and a 35, just sort of unconsciously, or someone's going, 25 and they pass them and get up to like 41 or 42 by a camera and it goes off. A policeman, a physical human being cop wouldn't pull that person over. I mentioned last hour, a friend of mine rushing his kid to the emergency room at Children's Hospital, gets a traffic camera ticket on Henry Clay, got to deal with that. I was bringing my kid to the hospital. Okay, bring the teacher's note. A regular cop would have turned on his lights and escorted the guy to the hospital. Hey, I'm going to the hospital. My kid's bleeding. Can you lead the way? Yes. No, I've never liked them. They're unconstitutional. It's wrong. And the city had a chance to get rid of them, and LaToya Cantrell actually promised to get rid of him and reneged on that plan. Now we have new legislation that is sort of, it's not watered down, but it's not crystal clear. And the city right now is trying to interpret that regulation. There's a lot of new laws that are going into play right now in the city, that in the state. And that's a good thing. But the traffic cameras, I'd love to see them go away in New Orleans. That was the original legislation. It got watered down, and that the state's trying to figure out exactly what they can do, but they were supposed to be reactivated today, and they're not. Here's the worst part about the whole thing. The city releases a statement on it, like today was supposed to be the reactivation of the cameras, but because of this new state law, they may not be reactivated for a while. Remember to do the speed limit in the school zones, all this, like a few things. First off, the school zones in general in New Orleans, it's like a 2-hour thing. It's like 7 to 9, 2:30 to 4:30. They're like huge school zone time periods, yet the schools, it might really apply for about 30 or 45 minutes tops. And here's the kicker. Every school starts and ends at a different time. So in 2024, each school zone by that school needs to be calibrated for that school's start and end of every day. And for about 45 minutes total. Maybe 15 minutes before the bell, 10 minutes before the bell for about 30, 45 minutes after. That's it. Doesn't need to be 2 hours going through these school zones and there's no one there. There's no one there at all. So that's a problem. And then, it's like the micro problem. Every school zone needs to be calibrated for that school. The macro problem is, like, today was supposed to be the reactivation date. There are a bunch of schools that don't start till next week or the week after that. Every New Orleans public school doesn't start on the same day. So it is, charter schools, hodgepodge of schools, all different start times and end times for each day. They don't start the semester for different times. Yet the city, we're starting the traffic cameras today, and just these huge blocks of time that takes place when they're on. It's just beyond crazy. And then the worst part, this is the sickening part. This is so political. It's garbage. It's pathetic. It's weak. The city says, the state law, we're trying to get the cameras on like it's a positive, like it's a good thing, like it's a public safety thing. And then they bring up, remember, schools are starting, watch the school zone speeds, even if we don't have the cameras on. They got school zone signs that say 20 and they're blinking. No one knew. The city's stupid. No one knew if the cameras were on or off. Most folks aren't going to know this news. Most. And are going to do 20 in the school zone anyway. Most folks do 20 in a school zone to begin with. Unless, of course, what I was saying, obviously the school is closed or it hasn't opened yet, or the kids left an hour and a half ago, and why is the sign still blinking? So there never was a problem. New Orleans wasn't known where kids in the school zone get run over by speeders. It's dangerous. So it is strictly a money grab, and it is insulting to everyone's intelligence, and it's just sort of morally wrong to say, hey, the school's starting back up. We don't have the cameras in the school zone, so be extra careful. Like they're implying it's a safety issue when it is a 110% money grab issue, and there's nothing safety about it. None of it. None of it. There's some traffic cameras, I'm telling you, you could remove them, that they pull in no revenue. I guarantee you, the one by Lebanon's Cafe on Carrollton pulls no revenue. You want to know why? Because the speed limit there is 35, like crazy. No one's blowing by Lebanon's Cafe or that Chevron gas station at 35 miles an hour. That's like flying right there. The speed limit's too high. It should be like 30 or even 25 probably by that spot. A lot of pedestrian traffic and the like. So it's sort of not marked properly. I've never seen it go off. I doubt anyone's ever exceeded. And then you get a few miles an hour, you'd have to be doing like 40 plus. It'd have to be just a lunatic, crazy kid speeding just beyond irresponsibly. They fixed this dip in the road, Miss Peaches, at the Florida Avenue exit off the I-10, that puts you by Canal Boulevard. The traffic camera was right by the dip. So everyone had to slow down or you'd bottom out. So I guarantee they fixed the dip probably to get the traffic camera going again.
That one I understood. I guess they don't want people coming off the interstate going down Florida Boulevard to Canal Boulevard doing 70. Miss Peaches just nailed it. It's a racket. It is. It's a full-blown racket. It was supposed to get started again today. The camera's reactivated, but state law slowing that process down. Yeah, you right. Last hour before we started the program, right before we went on, Miss Peaches just looked at me about how hot it is outside, and she's like, how did people live in New Orleans without air conditioning? And, you know, I've thought that. She's thought that. Everyone's sort of thought that, or we've heard that or discussed it at least once in our life. But I hadn't thought about it or in a long time. And it's just so hot outside. You're like, how did people live in New Orleans without air conditioning? It's mind-blowing. But, you know, Miss Peaches, there are a lot of folks right now. I shouldn't say a lot, but I guarantee you in New Orleans, we got 280,000 folks. I guarantee you 5% don't have air conditioning in their house. Something like that. 5%. No, there's some folks that just don't. And their whole lives, they've been, you know, dealing with that. No, I mean, that is it's beyond a luxury item. It's like a must-have. In New Orleans, I just don't know how it's possible to live down here without air conditioning in the summer, honestly. I don't know how you do it. No, and there are people that simply can't afford it. And that's criminal. That's wrong. I was mentioning earlier about billionaires coming into New Orleans at Lakefront Airport and going over the Seabrook Bridge, which is down right now, and taking Lakeshore Drive to Canal Boulevard. The good news is August 30th, it reopens. 4 weeks. Seabrook Bridge will reopen. I got a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate for you. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. What's the name of the Seabrook Bridge? Like it's named after someone. What is the official name of the Seabrook Bridge? Named after a former senator. Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 766-9480. 766-9480. Corey Johnson with you all the way till 6 o'clock. 766-9480. The Seabrook Bridge, which senator is it named after? Named for? Miss Peaches, we didn't get a answer from yesterday's question. 5 streets that make up a nursery rhyme. That's from Tuesday, actually. 5 streets in the metro New Orleans area that make up a nursery rhyme. Like Mary had a little lamb. I live on Had Street. Miss Peaches lives on Mary had a little lamb. 5 words making up a nursery rhyme. 5 streets. Name 5 streets that make up a nursery rhyme in the metro. Give me the answer to that. I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Lapalco, West Wego, Norco. I want the people that those places were named after. Someone answered Lapalco, Johnny Lapalco. He invented parting hair down the middle and feathering it. All right. Louisiana Power and Light Company for Lapalco. Louisiana Power and Light Company, Lapalco. What about Norco? Jimmy Norco? Frank Westwego? Where did Norco get its name? Westwego get its name? Give me the answer to any of those questions. 5 streets that make up a nursery rhyme in the metro. 766-9480. You got the answer? I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. Seabrook Bridge reopening at the end of the month. Give me the senator that the bridge is named after, the official name of the bridge. 766-9480. 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations, including Baton Rouge by the Mall of Louisiana. They're in Mandeville, They're in Slidell, 2 on the North Shore, and 2 on the South Shore, Metairie near North Kenner, Mid-City, New Orleans, Canal Street at Carrollton. The city's premier day spa experience. You can print your own gift certificate or set an appointment for her, woodhousespas.com. Woodhousespas.com. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning's been at it since 1940. That's 84 years, going on 85 years of excellence. Want to experience the best dry cleaner? Young'sDryCleaning.com. Walk-up locations, free pickup and delivery, manless locker locations. A New Orleans institution, Young'sDryCleaning.com. Let's head to the phone lines. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. We're heading to the Crescent City, New Orleans. Valerie, what's up?
I was trying to answer for the bridge.
Ah, all right, Val, what you got?
I think it's the Hinky.
Hinky?
Yes.
Hinky. You know what, Val?
Yes.
You're so warm, you're burning my hands. I'm not going to give the official answer out, but I'm going to tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You may have to lower that television. I cannot stand that host's voice.
I know 3 of the streets' name, but I don't know 5 for that nursery rhyme.
All right. Well, don't say anything, but if you finish the nursery rhyme, the last 2 words are actually streets in that area too, if you can believe that, which is really kind of pathetic, sort of. It's
I know the 3.
All right, well, don't say anything. I already got $50 coming your way.
All righty, thank you.
Hey, Valerie, thanks for checking out the program.
Well, how do I get the $50?
That's the thing. We just pretend to give them away and then we hang up on you. All right, no, I'm joking. Miss Peaches is going to get some info from you, so don't go anywhere, all right?
All righty, thank you very much.
Hang on, okay?
I mean, bye-bye to you.
Yeah, bye-bye to you too. Hang on. That's Valerie in New Orleans, sweet Val. Miss Peaches is going to get some info from you, Valerie, and we'll tighten you up with a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate. Yeah, Miss Peaches, we just hang up on people. It's just all about show. You know, we're pushing it. You remember last week we gave away that brand new Mercedes. You're not getting a car. There's no gift certificate. There's no Woodhouse. The Woodhouse doesn't even exist. It's make-believe. All right, it exists. It is the premier day spa in the city, and there are 5 locations. And Valerie just picked up $50 She said, what did she say? Hickley? It's close. Good job, Valerie. Very close. She's trying to give you the official name, who the senator that the Seabrook Bridge was named after. That bridge reopens August 30th. 5 streets in the metro area right next to each other. They make up a nursery rhyme. Like literally, Mary had a little lamb. One street's named Mary. One street's named Had. One street's named One street's named Little. I live on Little Street. I live on Lamb Street. I live on Had Street. It's like that. 5 streets that make up a nursery rhyme, almost like Mary had a little lamb. Give me the answer to that. I've got $50 for you at the Woodhouse. Someone answered the LaPalco question, Louisiana Power and Light Company. What about Norco, West Wego? Are they named after someone like Johnny Norco, Freddie West Wego? Give me the origins of those names, Norco, West Wego. And the 5 streets, or the 5 streets, I should say, that make up a nursery rhyme in the metro. And also the senator that the Seabrook Bridge is named after. Seabrook Bridge is out by the Lakefront Airport. Leon C. Simon right there by Dowman. Right by the Lakefront Airport. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. Got to be careful building bridges, Miss Peaches, by airports. Lakefront Airport's got a lot. Seabrook, those 2 bridges that connect like Hain to the airport, like where the casino was, all that. Boy, that was a scam. How many cars go over those bridges? especially the far one, the one that puts you down by like the marina by Haynes. That was when that Harvey guy was running the levee board, and it was just a big political mess. And this guy was just a total joker. And essentially, you know, got those two bridges built. I mean, the one that you're coming off the Seabrook, I guess, is sort of legit, but the one that just connects you to the Hain to the casino area is not legit. And I don't know, you think that bridge could have been utilized like Airline and Clearview, you think? You think a bridge at Airline at Clearview would be a good thing? Rouse's Markets phone lines 766-9480. 766-9480. Invest 97. I don't know these names. It's a storm out in the Atlantic heading towards, I guess it's actually near the Caribbean now. Could be into the Gulf of Mexico. Could be Debbie. Could be a Hurricane Debbie. That would be the name if Invest 97 increases in speed. Right now, the path is like along the western coast of Florida, like in the Gulf, sort of heading into, which Florida doesn't need that, Tampa. But New Orleans doesn't need it, I can tell you that. So early in hurricane season, man. It's just August 1st. John joins us in New Orleans on the program. What's up, John?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello there. Can you hear me?
Got you loud and clear, John. Can you hear me?
Well, I could barely hear you, but
wow.
I could hear you slightly. The name of the Seabrook Bridge is the Ted Hickey Bridge.
The Senator Ted Hickey Bridge, John?
Correct.
You are correct.
Yeah, you're right. Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
How did you know that, John?
I'm sorry, what you said?
How did you know that?
Because I know Ted Hickey.
Oh.
I knew him.
Wow. If you don't mind me asking, how did you know him?
Well, he and his relatives had a fishing camp in Lake Catherine right next door to my wife's uncle's fishing camp.
He must have been a pretty honorable guy to get the arena built after him. Had to named after him. Obviously, had to be influential in helping UNO and that arena get built. Anyway,
a very hard time hearing you for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why either, John. Hey, John, hang on. Don't go anywhere. You are a winner. Miss Peaches, tighten up John real quick. Gonna get you a $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificate, John. Hang on. Don't go anywhere. I don't know why you can't hear us. The Senator Ted Hickey Bridge. The Senator Ted Hickey Bridge. Good job, John. Excellent work. Valerie was close. Valerie, Ted Hickey. I think you said Hinckley. I was like, she's close. How can I deny Val? Excellent work. Hey, Rouse's Markets phone lines 766-9480. 766-9480. Still have a few $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. 5 streets in the metro that make up a nursery rhyme. West Wego, Norco, named after an individual, a person, origin of those names. Give me the answer to any of those questions. 50 big bucks can be yours at the Woodhouse. 766-9480. 766-9480. Today, the city of New Orleans' controversial red light or traffic cameras were supposed to be reactivated. A new state law is slowing down the process. It basically says there can be no automated tickets written in certain situations. It's sort of vague. The automated ticket writing isn't. It's about traffic cameras being prohibited. But in certain situations, and the city's trying to figure out what that means exactly. But right now, it's supposed to be reactivation day. And because of the new state law, it's slowing the process, and the traffic cameras are not on in the school zones right now in the city of New Orleans. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Mayor LaToya Cantrell, when running for her first term, said she was going to eliminate the traffic cameras. That was one of her campaign promises. Immediately upon winning and getting into office, she reneged on that. Said, I'm keeping them on. There's too much revenue for the city. Instead of cutting waste and abuse, she kept this essentially a tax on law-abiding citizens. Most of these tickets, like using a 35-mile-an-hour zone, for example, it's like 42, 43 miles an hour. That could be like mom or dad in the minivan just passing someone quickly and they get up to 42 or something and get a traffic ticket. Or just, I don't even want to say unconscious driving, but just someone that it's not even distracted, just can ease up to 41 or 42 and you're going to get a traffic ticket. It's just sleazy. The city sort of whores itself out. The city's not a welcoming city to begin with. New Orleans needs all the help it can get with welcoming people in. There's already enough problems with infrastructure, crime, whatever. And you're going to exacerbate the problem by having these traffic cameras all over the city? No, it's sinful. It's a racket. It is a money grab, pure and simple. Zero to do about safety. Another sinful part, the city today releasing a statement, we're going to reactivate the cameras in the school zones. It's not going to happen. Be careful of those school zones. There's school zone signs blinking that say 20 miles an hour. I mean, how many people just don't abide by school zones? I know it happens, but the city being quiet and not saying we're reactivating the cameras would probably have been a better move to keep people going the speed limit in the school zone. Now there's some folks that are going to hear this and go, wow, the cameras aren't activated. I can speed in the school zone for a while. And then the city bringing up the school zone and the children. And be careful, we don't have the cameras in a school zone. It's still a school zone. Abide by it. They're using like children and public safety as sort of an excuse. And it's really sleazy because it has nothing to do with children or public safety, even in the school zones. New Orleans doesn't have a problem of people speeding in school zones, killing children. This is strictly a money grab, pure and simple. The city has to acknowledge it and quit acting like it's a public safety issue and using our kids and public safety as, the reason for the traffic cameras. Everybody knows it's like a proven fact. Traffic cameras cause more accidents. Red light cameras cause more accidents in intersections than if there was no red light camera. Think about that. Red light cameras cause more accidents than if there was no red light camera. Folks get paranoid. It's a yellow light. They lock up the brakes. The guy behind them that thinks we're going through the yellow light because it's natural and it's legal slams into the back of the other person. No, traffic cameras are a nightmare. The mayor promised to remove them. She didn't. Basically doubling down. Thank goodness for this new state legislation that at the very least is slowing down the process, ideally eliminates not only the school zone cameras, but all traffic cameras in New Orleans. Jefferson Parish had them. They got rid of them because of political shenanigans, people on the take, all that nonsense. Plus, it's just wrong. It's wrong. Hopefully the state law kicks in and eliminates the Orleans Parish traffic cameras. Thursday afternoon edition of the program. You beelining across the lake, heading to the North Shore. How about Trey Yen to go? Curbside delivery. They walk it right out to your car. It's not Chinese food. It's Chinese cuisine. It's that good. It's Trey Yen in Mandeville. You South Shore folks, most definitely worth the drive. 25 short minutes from Lakeside Shopping Center to the parking lot in Mandeville at Trey Yen. 25 minutes. As good as it gets anywhere in America. Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint. and supply. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes are magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Yeah, you right. Thursday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson back at you. Thanks so much for joining us. I was mentioning yesterday on the program when Jeff Thomas was with us. We call it the Tombstone out in New Orleans East. You're heading eastbound on the I-10. They've got that like kind of garden thing in between the outbound and inbound I-10 lanes in the east. You know, the little concrete barrier with the little garden in between. And then it ends like right past the, I guess, I-510 by Six Flags, Jazzland, old Jazzland site. That garden ends. And then all of a sudden you're just on 3 lanes of interstate each direction with that wire thing down the middle. So right where that garden ends and before the Michoud exit on your right is the, quote, Tombstone, that big concrete slab about maybe 8 feet high that says New Orleans East across it. We call it the Tombstone, like
Yeah, it's New Orleans East. Wasn't stuff supposed to develop behind that? So in time for the Super Bowl, less than 200 days away, some of that overgrowth behind it is going to be cleared out, and either billboard type signage or like getting Blaine Kern over at, Mardi Gras World to do some mock-up stuff. We're going to recognize what New Orleans East and specifically Michoud has provided not only for New Orleans and the United States, but the world. Significant things, two things that are hugely significant. I mean, Eisenhower credited Higgins for saving the world. The Higgins boat made in New Orleans, all Higgins boats made in New Orleans. D-Day invasion, the Pacific Islands, invading those Japanese islands, or that the Japanese had inhabited, had taken over. No, the Higgins boat, Eisenhower credited Higgins with saving the world, winning World War II. So New Orleans, Andrew Higgins, the Higgins boat, Michoud, New Orleans East, a significant major player in helping the United States win World War II and saving the world. A major player, New Orleans, specifically the East and Michoud. Then the space race and landing man on the moon. Arguably the single greatest achievement in mankind's history. Landing a man safely on the moon and returning him back to Earth safely. It's mind-blowing to this day. And it was done 50 years ago plus. 55 years ago. Crazy. 55 years ago. The rockets, the engines, the motors, the Saturn V rockets that put man on the moon, that powered that Saturn V monster rocket, built, manufactured by New Orleanians, folks in the metro area, out at Michoud in New Orleans East. So those two major points, saving the world, World War II, the Higgins boat, landing man on the moon, those are going to be the big points that will be made when you're driving on I-10 by the Tombstone in New Orleans East within 200 days of the Super Bowl for February. And ideally, it's a Artemis rocket mock-up. It's a space shuttle with the external tank mock-up. It's a huge Higgins boat mocked up. The Chrysler tank engines for Korean War. I mean, we can go on and on and on. The things that were made, manufactured, the facility itself. It was once one of the world's largest manufacturing facilities that's climate controlled. It still is huge. It's 42 acres under one roof. 42 acres climate controlled manufacturing facility. The Superdome roof is 10 acres. The Superdome roof is 10 acres. Michoud is 42 acres of climate controlled, all under one roof. No, it was one of the world's largest manufacturing facilities. I think the Boeing facility in Seattle edged it out when that was built, 40, 50 years ago to build major aircraft. So, no, that's good news for the Tombstone in the East and that area, getting the props it deserves for the Super Bowl. Good stuff. Hey, Baton Rouge, Helm Paint and Decorating's come to town. That's right. Helm Paint and Decorating for over 55 years in New Orleans, East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, now in Baton Rouge. Just like the Crescent City, high quality Benjamin Moore paint. Free 2-hour delivery in Metro Baton Rouge, just like in Metro New Orleans. When it's time to paint in Metro New Orleans, when it's time to paint in Metro Baton Rouge. Helm Paint and Decorating.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
River Cities Total Maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville, the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
I guess this goes in the criminals are stupid category. Some guy went out to the Audi dealership on Causeway, test driving a car with a salesman, and told the salesman to get out, was going to steal the car. The salesman fought with him. The guy ended up running. They caught him. He's got a criminal record, obviously. What an idiot. Hey, buddy, I got 3 letters for you. GPS. I mean, even if you would have gotten away with taking the vehicle, you would have been caught in 15 minutes. Criminals are stupid. I mean, that's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Hey, some really great news for commuters out in the UNO, Suno, Lakefront, Gentilly, New Orleans East area. The Senator Ted Hickey Bridge, the Seabrook Bridge, will be reopening in about 4 weeks, the end of the month, August 30th. And that's a great thing, because in under 200 days, Super Bowl 59 comes to New Orleans. And when those CEOs and Fortune 500 guys and girls and these, you know, when I say millionaires, not worth tens of millions, worth hundreds of millions, and billionaires and Fortune 500 decision maker types come rolling into town, we've got to put our best foot forward. New Orleans, in less than 200 days, Lakefront Airport, expecting about 500 G5 or larger jet aircraft to be at Lakefront Airport for the Super Bowl. 500. Those folks that get out of those aircraft and are coming to the French Quarter CBD to check into their hotel, their suite, their penthouse, they can't take Dowman Road. They can't take Dowman Road to the I-10 and get on at the Chef. With the Seabrook Bridge open, you take the Seabrook Bridge to Lakeshore Drive. You go past Franklin. You go past Elysian Fields, Paris Avenue. You go all past all of it to Canal Boulevard and take that beautiful Oak Line Street to I-610 to downtown. The Seabrook Bridge opening at the end of the month makes it possible. Who's that barking? What, Blue Boy? You got to impress these folks. Can't go down crusty Elysian Fields or Krusty Franklin or, Suno Bartholomew Golf Course, that wouldn't be a bad street. But you get to Chef Highway, you still got to get on the I-10 there. Blue Boy, you're right. You got to go to Canal Boulevard. Good call. Mañana.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.